We made it.
Hi, welcome to the Outdoor Laboratory Podcast. I'm your host, Danny Capo, and in today's episodes, we are in for a treat. I recently visited Ginnie Springs and was taken back by its beauty. The water here is so blue that it looks fake. Ginnie Springs is an outdoor recreation outpost where you can do about everything from camping, kayaking, canoeing, tubing, paddleboarding, and even scuba diving. These springs are located near High Springs, Florida. Prior to European settlements, Timucuan Native Americans lived around this area. There are remnants of tools, arrowheads, and pottery that some scuba divers and hikers still find today. These springs are right off of the Santa Fe River. This beautiful slice of Florida is not owned by the state, but is run by a private family, the Ray family. They gained rights to this land in 1971 and opened the outpost in 1976. Scuba divers especially love these springs as there are numerous underwater caves. Between 1960 and 1975, 150 people died in passageways all around Florida. Between 1960 and 1984, Ginnie Springs alone claimed 22 lives. In 1983, over 20,000 divers visited these springs. Ginnie Springs was Florida's underground frontier during the 80s. Today, the springs are used primarily by swimmers, even though I still saw quite a bit of divers. The Ginnie Spring Basin is a large slot of blue water which is over 100 feet across and 15 feet deep. Ginnie Cavern is found at the end of this basin. The water at the springs is around 72 degrees, so on a hot day, it's perfect. Like any body of water in Florida though, you should be wary of gators. There is brackish water that you must float down to reach the springs if you decide to do a float. This black water would be the place where you may find an alligator, but there are so many people on this river that alligators tend to stay away. You don't really have to worry about these gators in the springs because they're always full of people. You should watch out for venomous snakes though, as they might be in the banks of the springs. It is a bit pricey to get into this park, about $15 per person just to swim. If you'd like to rent a tube to float, it's about $6 per person. Paddle boards, kayaks, and canoes are also for rent at higher prices ranging from $10 to $15. I was kind of disgusted at these prices as it limits the socioeconomic classes that can afford to visit this beautiful area. But because it is privately owned, there's nothing to be done about these fees. This outpost is well kept, well used, and very fun to visit. I recommend floating in a tube as it is a slow float that lets you enjoy the landscape and the water. If you visit in the summer, be prepared to be swimming with lots and lots of people. These springs are popular destinations to beat the heat. You also will run into people of all age groups and ethnicities, making this one of the most culturally diverse outdoor places that I have visited. I think that Ginnie Springs is a beautiful piece of Florida, but a place that has been destroyed with tourism. It is hard to enjoy the beauty of this place when there's a bunch of drunk swimmers, cookouts, and cars all around the springs. I feel like this place should have less infrastructure and more nature. I find it difficult to get into tune with nature here. There's so many people who don't hold this place as a sacred place that it is and that it deserves. The natural landscape has made it into a gold mine, and a family has been able to profit off of it. I feel like natural spaces like this should belong to the civilians and not just one set of people. Perhaps if the Ray family ever decides to sell this business, they can donate it to the Florida State Parks so that this area can belong to the people, just like it deserves to be. Anyway, I hope that you go out one day and enjoy this beautiful swimming hole because I enjoyed it. Go out and experience it for yourself. Have a great day.